So say I've got an EV. You're telling me I could just plug it into a wall socket and recharge it just like the charger for a cordless drill or something?
Yeah, my Hornet, it came equipped with what they call a level 1 charging cable. You just plug it into a standard 120-volt grounded wall socket, and it starts charging. No additional charging equipment required.
But doesn't that take hours?
It could, depending on how low the battery charge is, but I just plug it in at night, and it's fully charged by the time I leave for work.
So, if the level 1 charger is so great, what's this level 2 charger I heard you talking about?
Level 2 charges a battery much faster than level 1 because it delivers more electricity. It's the same type of circuit found in any house with an electric stove or clothes dryer. Level 2 charging requires purchase and installation of a 240-volt charging unit.
Okay, so home charging is one thing. What about when you're out somewhere and you need to find a charger? I know Dodge Hornet RT has a gas engine, so you're not going to get stranded. But what if you want to use electric only?
Well, there are about 130,000 public level 2 chargers around the country right now, with more being built all the time. The federal government is funding installation of another 500,000 chargers over the next several years, and private companies are adding tens of thousands of level 2 and 3 charging stations every year.
There could be 1 million charging stations, but if I don't know where they are, it doesn't do me any good.
Finding nearby charging stations is no problem, believe me.
Finding a charging station may be no problem, but it still takes a long time to charge an EV, right?
Recharging time varies just like when filling up an ICE vehicle. You know, how big the gas tank is, how much gas is left, how fast the pump transfers the gas. It's the same with an EV. How big is the battery? How much charge is left? How fast is the electricity transfer rate? It depends.
No offense, but that's not much of an answer.
I'm just saying it varies.
With all these charging stations and EVs hooked up for hours at a time, my last question to you is, can the electrical grid even handle the charging needs of all these new EVs?
Yes, the grid is growing at the same time the EV sales are increasing. They're growing together. I already mentioned the existing 130,000 public charging stations and the 500,000 new charging stations the government is building. Private companies are busy building more stations too.
That's what I'm talking about. Where is all the power to run those stations coming from?
Well, one analysis says that the U.S. has enough electricity generating capability right now to charge 80 million EVs overnight, and there are only about 3.5 million EVs on the road today. Meanwhile, new electricity generating plants are being built as utilities are building new transmission and distribution infrastructure. Smart grid technology is being implemented to manage electricity flows and balance supply and demand. So there's enough power generation and transmission on our current electric grid to easily charge all the EVs purchased over the next few years. That answers your question?
I must admit, cuz, you know this stuff inside and out. You ought to be in sales instead of service.
Yeah, well, I bet you still ask me to fix your car for free anyway.
Hey, family first, I always say.